Right, so get this. Neuralink just came out with this, like, huge announcement. They're going to be doing a trial to control a robotic arm using only a brain implant.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about being able to, like, move something in the real world just using your thoughts.
It's pretty crazy, right?
It's insane.
They're calling it the CONVOY Study. And the really interesting part is like how it connects to their PRIME study that they've already been doing.
Right.
So PRIME is all about letting people who are paralyzed control computers with their minds. And this new CONVOY study takes it even further by letting them control stuff in the real world.
So it's like they're connecting thoughts and actions in a way that we never even thought possible.
Exactly.
Can you, like, break down how this brain-computer interface thing actually works?
Sure.
Like all the technical stuff?
Yeah, so Neuralink's BCI uses this thing called the N1 Implant, which is basically like a tiny little device, like the size of a coin that they put in the brain, and it can record and send out neural signals without needing any wires. And get this, these signals are picked up by over 1,000 electrodes.
1,000.
Yeah, 1024 to be exact. And they're spread across 64 threads that are thinner than hair. It's like super intricate.
64 threads?
Yeah.
That's...
a lot of threads.
Yeah, that's wild. And they're using a surgical robot to put this thing in, right?
Yeah, the R1 robot.
Mm-hmm.
It's super precise and makes sure the whole procedure is safe.
It's amazing how far this whole BCI technology has come.
Right. Researchers have been making progress in the field of brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, for decades now.
Yeah.
You know, remember that study back in 2008 where a monkey was able to feed itself using a robotic arm controlled by its brain?
Yeah, that was a big deal at the time.
That was a pivotal moment in the development of BCIs.
Right.
It demonstrated the potential, of this technology to restore lost function.
And since then, we've seen successful trials with humans as well. Like, I remember reading about people being able to control computer cursors with their minds and even getting a sense of touch back through robotic arm.
Absolutely. But Neuralink's system is unique in that it's wireless.
Yep.
Previous systems were all wired, with cables running from the person's head to a computer.
Right.
That was decoding the signals. This is completely wireless.
Wow.
Gives users so much more freedom to move around.
That's incredible.
I know, it's crazy.
It seems like Neuralink is taking all that research and, like, pushing it even further.
Yeah, definitely. And they're making some really awesome progress.
Didn't they have a guy in the PRIME study?
Nolan Arbaugh?
Yeah, who's able to play chess and video games with the implant?
That's right.
That's so cool.
It's like straight out of science fiction.
I know, and it shows how this tech can really change people's lives.
Absolutely.
But I heard there were some problems along the way, too.
Oh, yeah, like with those threads retracting.
Yeah, has Neuralink been able to fix that?
Oh, yeah. They've been working hard to figure it all out.
Good, because it would be a shame if it didn't work out.
It's still a new field, and they're learning as they go.
Right.
But the progress they're making is really impressive.
It makes you think about what the future holds for BCIs and how they might combine human intelligence with AI.
Yeah.
And it's not just about medical stuff either.
Nope.
It could change how we communicate, how we learn.
Yeah.
Maybe even make us smarter.
It's mind-blowing.
Totally mind-blowing.
And this CONVOY study with the robotic arm control is like a huge step towards that.
Right.
It shows how BCIs could blend our intentions with physical actions.
So then the big question is,
what's next?
If we can do this now, what's possible in 5, 10, 20 years?
That's hard to even imagine.
I know, but it seems clear that BCIs have the potential to totally revolutionize our lives.
Yeah, this trial is just a tiny peek into what the future might hold.
I'm picturing people controlling whole exosuits with their minds, so anyone can walk again.
That would be amazing.
Or even flying spaceships with our thoughts and traveling to other stars.
It does sound kind of like science fiction.
It does.
But who knows? The line between science fiction and reality is getting blurry.
True. That and the stuff happening with BCIs is just incredible.
Yeah, it seems like we're just starting to figure out what's possible.
For sure.
It's pretty exciting.
It is.
Makes you wonder what else we could do with it, right? Think about how this could change manufacturing healthcare, even the arts.
It's like we're held back by our keyboards and mice. What if we could just skip all that and our thoughts went straight to the computer?
It would totally change how we use computers.
There'd be a whole new level of control.
And not just about being faster or more efficient.
Right.
Imagine the creativity, being able to express yourself in ways you never could before.
It's like we're about to unlock some crazy new human potential.
Yeah.
Where our bodies don't limit us anymore.
I think that's where things get really interesting. Right now there's like a a slight delay between thought and action with these systems.
Right.
But as the technology evolves, that lag could become almost imperceptible. Imagine the possibilities if the response is practically instantaneous.
Well, it would be like the robotic arm is just like a natural extension of your own body. Seamless integration,
Yeah.
almost like, science fiction becoming reality.
Exactly. And think about the potential for, more intuitive control interfaces.
Yeah.
What if instead of relying solely on those decoded brain signals, we could incorporate other inputs like eye tracking or subtle muscle movements?
That's fascinating. Combining those inputs could make the control, even more precise and natural.
Yeah.
Like the more signals you have to work with, the more accurately you can translate that intention into action.
Absolutely. Like, what if we could use BCIs to come up with new treatments for brain diseases?
That'd be awesome.
Or help people with disabilities get back lost abilities?
Or even make ourselves smarter.
Think of all the problems we could solve.
It's like we could break through limitations that have been holding us back forever.
It is, and that's something worth fighting for.
Totally agree. I mean, it's kind of wild to think that we're like actually living in a time when this stuff is happening.
I know, right?
It's like we used to only see this in sci-fi movies, but now it's becoming real.
It really shows you what humans can do.
For sure.
Like Neuralink, they're not afraid to take on these big, crazy challenges that could change the world.
Yeah. So from your perspective, what are the areas where you think this technology will have the biggest impact soon?
Well, like we talked about, the medical stuff is huge, helping people who are paralyzed, finding new ways to treat brain problems. That's going to change everything.
Yeah.
But I also think it could totally revolutionize how we learn and how we communicate.
Oh, how so?
Just imagine if you could learn new things just by downloading them into your brain.
Well,
Or if you could talk to someone just by thinking about them. No more language barriers.
that would be insane.
Right now, it all sounds like sci-fi, but with BCIs, it could actually happen.
It's mind-blowing, but like with any powerful technology, we have to think about the dark side too.
How do we address the potential concerns about privacy and data security when we're talking about accessing something as personal as our brain signals?
Yeah, it's a lot to consider.
It is.
This Neuralink trial, it's not just a scientific advancement. It's like a glimpse into a future where the line between human and machine becomes, increasingly blurred. It's both exciting and a little bit daunting, don't you think?
It is, and it's a future that's rapidly approaching. That's why these conversations are so important to have now, as we push the boundaries of what's possible.
So for our listeners out there, I think we need to leave you with a question to ponder.
Okay.
This Neuralink trial,
Mm-hmm.
what does it make you think about the future?
It's a future full of possibilities, but also potential problems.
But I'm hopeful that we can figure it out and use BCIs to help us reach our full potential.
I agree. And hey, maybe one day we'll be having this conversation, not through microphones, but through our minds.
Now, that would be a deep dive I wouldn't want to miss.
Right.
Thanks for joining us today for this deep dive into Neuralink and brain-computer interfaces.
It's been fun.
It has. And we'll keep you updated on all the latest developments in this amazing field.
Until next time.
See ya.